Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawadah, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, or Hakodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you, Aki, on pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump in on this here lesson, pretty much as a follow-up to the other video I did dealing with, having trouble in the flesh, dealing with marriage, Nevertheless, I want to go into this here lesson dealing with basically, how a righteous woman should be, and, how you women should conduct yourself, or if you're a man of the Lord, the type of women that the type of women that the men of the Lord are looking for, because a lot of the times you women think that we hate our women and things like that. That's not the case. We as the men of the Lord, we understand what we read in these scriptures. All right. And the Lord has laid down a path and a foundation for us to build up off of. All right. So we going back into, we remembering the old ways. All right. Because we wound up straying away from the ways of the Most High. So we going back into the ways of the Most High, and the Most High has written down in these scriptures, all right, the way we should conduct ourselves. All right. So what the men of the Lord reading these here words, we understand and we believe in these here words, and we understand that the Most High is trying to guide us in the path of righteousness. He's not trying to set us up for failure, and that's exactly what wound up happening here on this here side. The Most High laid out the way that we should walk, but what we wound up going astray, and now we wonder why we have all these problems. All right. So this here lesson is going to be, geared, like I said, towards the women, and you women that are listening, trying to do right by the Lord, trying to be righteous and things like that, or, you men that's in this here truth, and, you growing up into this here thing, and you looking for, a so-called righteous woman, or you don't know what a righteous woman is like, but nevertheless, speaking from my own self, when I came into this here truth, looking at a lot of these different things in a way, like what we're going to go through and read and all these different things, it made a lot of sense, and this, now you have a certain type of mindset towards these here women, if you can't provide me the things that the scriptures say you're supposed to be providing me with, there's really no good, no need for you. All right. So we're going to go into these scriptures and bring out the things that, the ways that a righteous woman should be conducting herself. All right. Or especially, if you're a wife or, the woman of the men of the Lord. All right. This is Genesis chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says, "And Yahweh power said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him." All right. So, this is one of the foundational principle things. This is, a lot of the things that's written inside the scriptures, we read these things like that, but you have to also understand, on somewhat of a deeper level, in a different type of sense, this is how the Most High programmed us. It's like we computers, all right, and the Most High, put in the computer program for us, just like if you have a scanner, right, to scan documents, that thing is programmed only for it to receive an image, whatever document that you got, and it scans that, and it puts it on the computer screen. All right. Then you have something like a computer printer. All right. Whoever designed it only to have an input put into it and for it to output whatever, whatever's on the screen, you put that in and it's going to spit it back out in a page format. It's going to give you an actual tangible piece of paper, with the things that's on the screen printed out, because why? It was programmed to do those things. All right. So you can't, get mad at a printer and say, look, every time I hit the print button, it always, whatever's on the screen, it just prints it out on a piece of paper, Well, that's what it was programmed to do. You see what I'm saying? But you also can't get mad at your printer because your printer don't want to, be able to download music. You can't burn a CD with your printer. You see what I'm saying? It's not programmed to do that. So a lot of these things that we read in these here scriptures, you can, it's letting you know this is how the Most High programmed us. All right. And then a lot of the times, well, for the most part, everything you can see, like I said, we wind up going astray. This is the foundation the Most High set up for us, but we wind up going astray. All right. So here where it says, Genesis 2:18, "And Yahweh power said, it is not good that man should be alone, and I will make him help meet for him." All right. First and foremost, it says man should not be alone. All right. You go into the prison systems and they throw you into the hole. You separated from everybody else. You don't have nobody around you. You in that little, small square cell or whatnot, no windows. You don't have no contact to the outside world. A lot of people bug out, or you see that movie, Wilson, what's the shit called? Where he had the little, the soccer ball, I think it was. Homeboy was like on a FedEx plane. The plane wound up crashing, and the whole movie, Homeboy's on this island. Castaway. The movie's called Castaway, where Homeboy's on this island. He's sitting there the whole time. He wound up cutting his hand and hitting a volleyball or something like that, or a soccer ball, and it wound up putting like a bloody handprint on top of the ball. He wound up making a face on that, and talking to the damn ball like that's his friend, because why? He was the only person out there. He didn't have nobody around him to speak to, you know? So he started going a little crazy. There's another movie with Will Smith in it where I forgot what the hell happened, but pretty much everybody's like gone from around him, you know. And he wound up becoming friends with a damn mannequin inside the store, you know. And I forgot what the damn mannequin's name was, but he started flipping out. He's like, you know, he would always talk to the mannequin or whatever, whatnot, but he was, you know, still somewhat in his sane mind, trying to stay sane by having a conversation with this damn mannequin. But it got so far to the point where he started flipping out. He started bugging out. He was like, let's just say the mannequin name, he named the mannequin Bill. He's like, Bill, are you talking to me? Bill, did you just move? Bill, did you do, you know, he's starting to think the building came alive for real, you know. In the beginning time, you know, he's just trying to, you know, just speaking to this shit at first, but then him being alone for so long, now he's actually, you know, bugging out. Because why? You somewhat need to be around other people, all right? Let alone, you know, you can be around other people, you know, you could be going to work, you know, you see people all the damn time, you passing by people all the time, but what? The end all be all, you need that companionship, all right? Real companionship, you know, somebody to sit down and talk to and or whatever, whatnot, you know, spend a certain amount of time with, you know, just like some of these older people, you know, like a lot of these older guys for the most part, you know, you see a lot of these older men, you know, especially when they be dealing with this is one thing I learned when I moved back to Atlanta, you know, as an older person, as an adult, you know, I would see in Atlanta these older men, all right, they would be buying what, you know, you would think they were like prostitutes, but they would be like escorts, you know, and I would, what the fuck's the difference, you know? But nevertheless, a lot of these escorts, they do this stuff and they're not having sex with these old men. All they doing is they going out for their time. You know, I used to work in a real high class restaurant downtown Atlanta or whatever, whatnot. You would see these old men coming in with these real young girls. All right, they're paying them for the date, but the date that they paying for is not really the sex. It's more or less the time, the companionship to talk to. All right, who knows? This old man might have had a wife and some kids or whatever, whatnot, but his wife might have died, his kids, or he might not have had no kids. You know, the kids might be moved, you know, way off to another state and he don't have nobody to really talk to. So what? He's going to go get this young chick, you know, pay her for her service, for her time. All right. Just to spend time with her, to talk to her about whatever, whatnot, you know, because why? He wants that so-called companionship. He's alone. All right. The same way with you people, you know, again, you could be a younger person and you go to work every day. You're around these people at work, whatever, whatnot. But when you go home at night, you all alone, or you fixing dinner, you all alone or whatever, whatnot, in these certain situations, you have these certain feelings because why? You wasn't programmed to be living alone. You know, they talking about, oh, I'm an independent woman, being independent. That's a wicked ass spirit, man. That's very contrary. That's how do you say? That's against the Most High's will. All right. Cause here clearly it says that, let me read it. Genesis 2:18. And Yahweh said, it is not good that man should be alone. All right. So if man, all right, you know, men could be with their homies, their brothers or whatever, whatnot. That's not what it's talking about. All right. Because if we, you know, continue on reading, it's talking about how the Most High created Eve for him, all right, in which, you know, there was other people around. These, you know, the Adam, you know, go deeper into all this, the Adamites, there was it's just more than one person out there, all right? So it's not that it was just Adam, the only person walking around the planet Earth, and the Most High said it shouldn't be good that it's not good that he should be alone, so we're going to create more people. No, there was other people already there, all right, but nevertheless, Adam didn't have nobody for himself, you know, that companionship, that partner, all right? Somebody, they on the same team, they're not competing with one another. But what you have today, nowadays, in today's society, all right, especially nowadays, you know, they highly promote this, all right? The separation, the breakdown of the household. You know, it started out with, you know, for our people with, what do you call that? Not the civil rights movements, but, pretty much around that same damn time, you know, you started getting these different things where, you know, you had all these governmental assistant programs that wound up coming out to so-called help Jake out, you know, and it was like the only way you can get these governmental assistant programs is if you know, you so-called struggling, or at the end all be all that man is not in the household. You know, y'all could both be struggling, you and your husband, with y'all kids to raise them, but the government don't care. All right. They only want to step in and help was when that man is not in the household. All right. So separating the family. All right. Which we already know what that leads to, you know, an unguided child. All right. You need to be able to guide your children in the way that they need to grow up. But nevertheless, going back into, you know, how they wound up separating us and things like that. All right. Nowadays, you know, you had the Beyonce's and them talking about all the single ladies, or what's that song they had? The independent ladies, all the independent women, all the women who independent, that song, you know what I'm saying? They always talking about being independent. I don't need no man or whatever, whatnot. I can do bad all by myself. All these different things is what? Brainwashing and training our women to so-called be independent. All right. There's nothing on this planet Earth that's independent. All right. Everything on this earth needs something else. All right. The trees need sunlight. They also need water. They also need a place to be planted. All right. So you see what I'm saying? Everything on the planet Earth needs something else. There's nothing on this planet Earth that's independent. All right. But nevertheless, this is the spirit that they try to put out into, especially our people, because they don't really put this on the so-called white people. You don't really see these so-called white women running around talking about they want to be independent. Their only goal, you know what I'm saying, is these young, when you have Edomite parents or whatever, whatnot, these parents, they go around, they think about their young daughter. We're going to send our daughter to college, not for education, but so she can get a good connect to go get with a good man, all right, who we know that their father, we're going to send them to the best school so we know that the pool of kids they're around is only these elites, all right? Their families is going to be such and such, so forth. They're going to send them to school to get a wife or a husband, and so they can get a family to get taken care of, all right? They're not sending their kids to school to be independent. Our mothers and our fathers send our kids, our daughters to school. Girl, you need to go to this here college, get you a good education so you don't have to depend on no man, all right? So you see what I'm saying? These are the things that we're promoting into our own people. All right, to have them further astray. All right, the Most High said, look, you're not created to be alone. But what they pushing this here stuff out onto our women. Look, you want to be single, you need to be single, you need to be independent. You can raise a child by yourself. One of the best titles that you can have here in America for a so-called black woman or Israelite woman is really what? I'm a single mother. All right, you get all the praise and all the honor and all the glory for being a single mother here in America, when really that's a walking abomination. First and foremost, you're trying to be independent. Second of all, like the whole way through, you just going against the Most High, because the scriptures say a man should leave his wait. Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall man leave his father and his mother. All right, notice here it says his father and his mother, not his mama house. His father and his mother are already together. That's our our blueprint, more or less to say. That's our standard. You see what I'm saying? This is how we were supposed to conduct ourselves. All right. It says, therefore shall a man, all right, or that child, leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife. All right. So you leaving out of the stead of your mother and your father's house, where you have two parents in the household. All right. And you're going to go cleave unto your wife. Y'all going to be, and it says, and they shall be one flesh. They're becoming one family now. All right. They're not going to be, two separate, it's me and my husband, we doing he doing him and I'm doing me. No, y'all ain't supposed to, all the things that you do, you're supposed to be together. All right, man ain't supposed to be alone like that. All right, now on the flip side, you got the same movement, I was talking about the women and how this has been pushed onto our women first and foremost with like the feminism movement. You know what I'm saying? All these different things, speaking on the feminism movement. All right. Yes, this was created by the so-called white woman, just like with Planned Parenthood. All right. But nevertheless, with our so-called black women, they wound up following after that. But see, the so-called white woman wasn't following after that. All right. The so-called white woman was telling you about being independent, having your own job, your own money, raising your kids by yourself, and all these different things. You could be smart, independent, free to go do whatever you want to do, work in the workplace, and all these different things. All right. But if you really know these Edomites like that, these so-called women, these so-called Edomite women, they don't live like that. They're not up under the same stuff. You don't really see on a large scale, all right, since abortions came through, that all these so-called white women are going out there getting abortions. All right, this is why they have these arguments about pro-life and pro-choice, because why? They understand that this is affecting the Edomite growth, their reproductive rate. This was a tool and a weapon used against Jake. All right, they know that we was looking up to them. We was going to follow whatever they did. So they said that's what they was doing, but they wasn't really doing that. All right. They was talking about, they want to be single, free, and independent. I'm a strong woman. I'm an independent woman. Because look, they didn't use the so-called black woman as the face of that. They used the so-called white woman as the face of that, as a weapon, as a tool to damage our households. All right. All those different things. Like I said, the so-called white woman. All right. This was all created by them. But see, none of these things are affecting their household. You don't really see these Edomites getting divorces, splitting up like that. Now the mama putting the dad on child support. All right. And then the mama go out and go get another man and go get him on child support. You don't really see a lot of these Edomite women with 4 or 5 baby daddies, all of them on child support. She being taken care of by the government. Now, really, these Edomites actually are the biggest recipients of governmental assistance and aid and things like that. But on the same scale as how we getting food stamps and things like that, they not getting those same packages like that. They get it in a different type of way. All right. But nevertheless, like I said, these things was put onto our people. All right. Feminism movement, that other it's another movement that they came out with right around the time of the civil rights and all these different things, like when the women started coming into the workplace. Women have the right to vote now, which that's retarded. But see, a lot of the women will get that into their emotions about that. It wasn't even about you voting or anything like that. All right. First and foremost, the only people that was able to vote was the landowners. If you own land, then you can vote. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, in today's society, man, you got a whole family, a mom, a dad, and some kids in the house. Why the hell does everybody in the household got to vote? You see what I'm saying? For the most part, they're going to all think the same way. So if the dad want to vote for Donald Trump, pretty much everybody in the household going to have the same ideology or whatever, the same upbringing and things like that, because they raised by that same parent. So you shouldn't need to have 4 different votes for Donald Trump coming out of one household. You see what I'm saying? What if the next house only it's just a father in that household and he want to vote for the opposite part? You see what I'm saying? Now you got 4-1 because it's just not enough bodies in that house, but they all under the same household. All right. This is where voting came from. It had nothing to do with women didn't have the rights to do this, and that. If you own land, if you was a man and you didn't own land, you didn't have a right to vote. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, like I said, these are all weapons to divide us or separate us from off that path that the Most High has set up for us. All right. They do the same thing with the men's movement, MGTOW. All right. They had, or Red Pill, I think it's called. They have pretty much all these things, because women going off the Most High said, I've created a new thing in the earth. A woman should surpass a man. Also, which is contrary to the ways of the Most High. Like the Most High said, look, a woman should not usurp authority over a man. But that's exactly what's happening. You have these women being the head of the household, women over top of the men, all these different things. So what? It leads to calamities. It leads to confusion and destruction. This is the state that we in right now. This is why we having all these different problems with our men and our women and things like this. All right. This is what birthed the whole movement of MGTOW. All right. Men, Men going their own way. All right. MGTOW, men going their own way, which really is when you listen to all that, it's like, look, we not really, dealing with these women like that. We basically gonna just have sex with them and leave them. We're gonna just basically treat everybody like prostitutes, but we're not gonna just even pay them. We're gonna just have sex with them and just, that's it. Or either the opposite of that is just, we're not gonna deal with them at all. We're not gonna have sex with them. We're gonna just be celibate. You see what I'm saying? But what's the end result of all these things? The man and the wife not coming together. They're dwelling what? Alone. You have MGTOW men all wanting to be alone. You have these women that's in these feminist movements to where they basically hating everything about a man. All right. So what? They wind up being alone. Then they get older and they become what? These old people, out where I'm at, I see a lot of these old Edomite people walking around with strollers and they talking to the thing that's in a stroller like it's a damn baby. But you walk around and you see what the hell they talking to. It's a damn dog or a cat. I'm like, bitch, where's your kids at? Why didn't you have kids? You over here lonely and shit talking to an animal, got the animal in the damn baby stroller like it's an actual person. Like, yo, you losing your mind. You should be walking your dog on a leash. You see what I'm saying? Not strolling around your a dog in a baby carriage. But you can see how these people's minds are bugged out because wow, they starting to grow up and dwelling alone. All right. So this whole this independent spirit, this here spirit of being alone, I can do better all by myself, or I can do this and I can do that on my own. I'm independent. I'm strong enough to do this. I'm a strong mother. I'm a strong single mother. All these things like that. That's going off, man. All right. How about this? Just to flip it and reverse it, Oh, I'm a man of the Lord, but I don't need the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Or I'm a God, but I don't need God. I'm a man of the Lord. I don't need the scriptures. I can do this all by myself. How does that sound, man? That's going all the way off, man. You can't do nothing on your own. So especially for these here women, man, and especially you want to be Miss Independent Woman, so on and so forth. But whenever something go wrong, in reality, especially a lot of these women, you way more dependent on your damn enemy, man. Esau, Edom, because why? You become but this is all going into the curses, man. Because what? You become this independent woman, all right? But see what? You don't have time or the job or the finances coming in to the finance raising up some kids and stuff like this. So what? You depend on the government, which is basically another man, all right? You depend on the government to put groceries in your refrigerator, all right? You depending on this the so-called white man in the government form to put a roof over your head, all right? You paying for this, you waiting on the so-called white men or other taxpayers or all of us taxpayers to pretty much fund all the things that you're going into. All right. Now, if you got kids, you still depending on your baby daddy to sit here and finance and fork over all the damn bills. All right. So at the end all be all, how independent are you really? All right. You just saying this and you don't even realize this is further destroying you. All right. You just want to, a lot of our people, they say a lot of things because it sound cool to roll off their tongue. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for so-called black people, I used to hear like a lot of black people say this growing up all the time. Like, yo, we drop cash on everything. We spend cash on everything. You know, cash on this, cash on that. You know, that's not always a good thing to do. Sometimes you get a better deal by just getting it on credit. You know, sometimes like, yo, if you can go get this, you know, just imagine if you want to buy a $40,000 car and you got to save up $40,000 for that damn car, might be a while for you to get it, you know, but we think, cash, because it sound good. Cash is king. Well, you go get it on credit, you know, you might just put $2,000 down and you got a small monthly payment every month. You can get it right now. You don't have to wait until you save up $40,000. By that time, the truck ain't even so new no more. You want a whole nother car. But what we wind up just repeating the things that we say, and we don't even realize how it's really affecting us. All right. So going into this whole independent, I want to be by myself and so on and so forth. Hey, man, human beings was not created to be alone. All right. This is our first mistake. All right. Like I said, not only our women don't know their roles, the men don't know their roles either. But in this society, all right, the woman is up on a pedestal. The woman has surpassed the man. All right, so now you have these women leading everything. You got these single mothers raising up kids or whatever, whatnot. And they wonder why their kids is going out in the streets being monsters, playing a knockout game and shooting up all kind of people and fighting and becoming all kind of crazy shit because they don't have guidance in their house, man. All right, they're not sitting here spending time raising their kids. And a lot of these mothers in this here generation, all right, they was birthed by a young mother who didn't really care about them. They was at their grandma's house the whole time, so they don't really have a good stable upbringing. All right, so these are certain things that you want to stay away from. Or if you understand these things, especially for you righteous women, all right, you so-called righteous women, or you women that's trying to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Hey, first and foremost, you have to understand. All of us have to understand. We're not perfect, man. Especially if you listening to these videos and you watching these videos, you should understand that you sick. You have a goddamn problem. The reason you watching these videos is you trying to get fixed. So don't take offense if, you know, this is kind of cutting you or whatever, whatnot. Now, if it's cutting you and you don't want to change, well, then that's your fault. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? You have to understand when you're watching these here videos, you sick. You know what I'm saying? When you're taking this here medicine, it's going to be a little nasty, but you got to take the medicine and it's going to help fix you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you're trying to be a so-called righteous woman or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these things or these traits in your life or your upbringings, and you got to work to try to change these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be a so-called righteous woman. Oh, I can do this all by myself. I don't need nobody to do that. Hey, man, look, we can go real deep on that, man. You don't need no man. Well, Yahweh Shah is a man. First of all of us need Yahweh Shah. All the Israelites, you can't get saved without Yahweh Shah. So you talking about you don't need no man? Well, then fuck it. You might as well die over here with these Edomites. How about you say, I need you to voice that out loud. You don't need no man. You're going to just die over here with these Edomites by thermonuclear missiles. All right, with the wrath of the Most High on your ass, man. You see what I'm saying? Nobody really put this here through their mind when they really saying stuff like, I don't need no man. Men, us as men of the Lord, hey, I'm gonna speak for myself first and foremost, and I'm damn sure can say I can speak for the rest of the righteous brethren, man. We all need a man, all right? We need Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. That's who we need. And we need other men less than that, man. We need the rest of the brethren to do the work, man. How do you think we getting built up and edified, all right? We got our other brothers out there teaching and edifying us, man. All right, it's because of ultimately it's because of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, but it was because of men physically on the highways and the byways putting up videos that I was able to get healed here. All right, because there was doctors out there, more or less to say, that was let me grab it in as a precept. Obadiah 1:18. Or 1:21. It says, Obadiah 1:21, and saviors, plural, shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's, all right, or the Lord's. So it says, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion, all right. We're gonna just stop there. First and foremost, this is going into what? Or we can go in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, talking about the valley of the dry bones. As you can see, we being raised up by men, so we need men too. We need the men of the Lord, the righteous men of the Lord, all right? And we don't have no shame in saying that, man. So how much more you women, you know what I'm saying, who you know, you got a problem with saying you need a man. Well, you should have a problem with saying you need a man. You would want to say, I need a man of the Lord, a righteous man, all right? Not just no wicked ass man or whatever, whatnot, you know? But then you also have to get out of that mindset and mind state of being basically brainwashed by these Babylonians, growing up as a Babylonian, all right? Because, hey, what does the name Babylon mean anyway? The land of confusion. You've been growing up under the doctrine of confusion, all right? Everything that they teaching you is so-called right here is all leading you to confusion. Look around. Look at all the people around you, man. This is why they all bugging out. But everybody's got this goddamn mask on. It's got a permanent smile on their face. But when you take the mask off, they trembling in their boots. They scared. Everything is all fucked up. But they don't want to understand why. We're the doctors. We trying to tell you, look, man, you've been eating too much of that there pork. You got to get up off of that pork, man. That pork is killing you, man. You wondering why you got these diabetes and high blood pressure because, you know, you're straying far away from your dietary the right diet, basically, more or less to say. All right, and this is what we telling you, man. You know, we the doctors trying to heal you people. Hey, like Yahushua say, man. You know, why you always over there with them sick motherfuckers? Because the sick is the one who need the damn doctor. You know, healthy people don't go to the hospital. You see, they ain't got no problem. Like right now, you know, for the most part, I ain't gonna say my health is perfectly fine, but for the most part, you know, my health is perfectly fine other than just living here in Babylon. There's no need for me to go to the emergency room. You see what I'm saying? All the people in the emergency room, they all sick. They all need help. They all need that their doctor. All right. So nevertheless, the same thing in this here thing, man. Those, you know, our people who's trying to become, you know, trying to get righteous, you got to come to the doctor, man. You got to, there's an order to this. You got to fall in line under their order. All right. First and foremost, Yahweh is the head. All right. He gave everything, rulership and all that unto Yahushua. All right. Yahushua has passed it on down to what? First and foremost, the elect, the 144,000. All right. Now the 144,000 is on the planet trying to guide the nation of Israel back into righteousness. Well, the elect. All right. But nevertheless, you have the righteous men. All right. And then up under them, you got their women. You see what I'm saying? So everything has to be in order. Everything has to be in subjection. There's no independence. There's no, Lone Ranger type deal going on. Now, there are certain situations where, you might have a brother that be preaching on the highways and the byways by himself because, hey, that's just his lot. Or you might have a man that might wind up transitioning through this whole thing without a woman, or vice versa, a woman without a man. That might just be your lot. But ultimately, at the end all be all, you're not supposed to be created to be alone. That independent spirit is just completely going off. All right, let me get back to the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and I'm going to go to verse 16. All right. It says, Genesis 3:16, it says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. All right. So this is, the Most High telling you women why you have birth pains when you in labor, because you wind up going off, dealing with, following out the philosophies of these other nations, going back to the Garden of Eden, when Eve wound up, following after those philosophies, But nevertheless, it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right. So going back into what? Man shouldn't be alone. That independent spirit, man. All right. Dealing with you and your wife, your companionship. All right. Now, when y'all get together as being a man and woman, you shouldn't have two different separate desires or whatever, whatnot. Oh, I'm working on my career. He working on his career. I got my dreams and he working on his dreams. All right. Now, and then these things wind up becoming conflicts, Homegirl might want to go back to school and be a doctor and take a job over there in California, but y'all over here living in, let's say, New York or something like that. You got kids over here. He already got a good job over here. Now she's like, oh, well, but this has always been my dream. And, actually a lot of families or husbands and wives separate because of that, because she finally got her dream or whatever, whatnot. She decides she want to go over to this other country or other state, whatever, whatnot, to go pursue a job. All right. She get her little job or whatever, whatnot. They come back. Ultimately, at the end all be all, she's like, she got her job and her career, all these different things. But what? She don't have a companionship at the end all be all. You see a lot of these elderly or older white women or whatever, whatnot, that went into corporate America, but they don't have no kids. They're getting a lot older. They didn't pass the prime of their damn, of them having children and raising up children. You done went to college. Just think of it this way, man. All right, and this is why the prime time for you women to be having children is basically when the younger that you are, because you don't understand how quickly these things take place. All right, so when you come up out of high school, right, in today's society, you about 18 years old. All right, but then most people do what? They go to college for about 4 years. So that's what, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You about 22. Let's say from after that you want to go find a good job or whatever, whatnot. All right. Let's say now getting this good job might take you a year, 2 years to finally find a good job. Then you got to get settled into that good job, and then you're going to want to start working your way up. So let's just add another 4 or 5 years. So now that's 8 years. All right. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you damn near 30 years old at this here point in time. Now, what are you going to do? You busy with your job. Your job might have you traveling around. You 27, 28 years old. Now you starting around. You might be wanting to look for a man, or you might not want to look for a man. You might want to go get you an apartment, move out of your apartment into a house, pay back some of your student debt, your student loans and things like that. You got all these different things. Next thing you know, you're 35 years old. You've been living so long by your damn self. All right. So now it's hard for you to even live with a man, to cater to a man, to live with the man, because you've been on your own the whole time. All right. And now let's say you do have kids. All right. You treat your kids all like shit because the whole time you've been selfish to your own self and living by your own self for so long. It's not convenient for you to even be looking after anybody else. All right. Going back into what we was reading in Genesis 2, where it says, basically a man should leave his mother and his father. All right. And cleave unto his wife. All right. But going into all these different things, man, hey, This is how do I say? Going back into leaving your A man should leave his parents, more or less to say, right? Now, let's just put it this way. If you're a young boy and you're living with your parents, right? You have your examples right there in front of you, your mom and your dad. They both stay in the same house. You get to see, you know what I'm saying? And growing up, you know, they tell you that every man grew up to marry his own mother, and same with the daughters, they grow up to marry their own fathers. All right, this is pretty much a true thing because of why? These are your first examples in your life. All right, these are your first loves in your life. All right, the first man. This is why you have a lot of women who have struggles in their relationships. You know, I spoke to my sister about this because she has a bad relationship with her actual father. All right, I hate him, this and that. And I'm like, look, do you realize the reason you can't never really love a man and find, you know, so on and so forth, even though you had a good husband that did all these different things, you know why you can't ever love him? Is because you never loved your father. You never found out a way to love your father. The things that happen between your father and your mother happen between them. You ain't have shit to do with that. You was just a little baby. You see what I'm saying? But because they had problems or whatever, whatnot, you can't love your own father for him being your own father. You ain't gonna never love no other man. All right? Because as a young girl, again, the first man that you love unconditionally is your father. It's not because you love, you know, as a young girl, you're not growing up loving your father because he pay all the bills and he take care, he buy you whatever no, you don't love him because of that. He your father. Whatever you need, he gonna wind up taking care of you. You know, you crying or whatever, whatnot, you fall, all these different things. You know what I'm saying? This little girl's gonna cleave unto her father. All right, unconditional love. It's not because, you know, that man ain't loving his daughter because damn, she fine, she got a fat ass or whatever, whatnot. Like, you know, when you see in regular society nowadays, you got a man and a woman getting together. You know, some men get with women, oh, that's my trophy wife, she fine as shit. Or some women get with men because they got a nice bank account. All right, but when you're dealing with your parents and your children, they fall in love with you for completely different things. All right, just like a young boy, you know, if he got his mother raising him up in righteousness, all right, you're gonna fall in love with that. All right, you're gonna fall in love with that woman that you know, your mother or your grandmother take care of you a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? She treats you like a real man's supposed to be treated. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna look for a woman like that. All right, like you know, let's say, for instance, like you raised by your grandma, you know, you sit down at the table or whatever, whatnot. You as a male, you got all female cousins or whatever, whatnot, you know, you as a male, your grandmother fix your plate on a glass plate. You know what I'm saying? She make sure she take up your plate or whatever, whatnot, get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? She do all her womanly deeds and showing you by way of, as a living example of how a woman should be taking care of a man. All right. She taking care of her grandson like that. So what, when a man grow up and he see a woman and she ain't doing that, you got a woman that don't want to cook for you, when every day that she was growing up in your own household and your grandma always made sure that there was food on the table, y'all wasn't really going out to eat. She was in the kitchen cooking. All right. You used to seeing a woman like that. That's the ideal woman that you see. All right. So this is going back to when speaking that basically a child should stay with their parents until what? They wind up getting married. Then they're going to go cleave into their family and they're going to continue on from there. So again, going back into these women, all right, you women at like the age of 18, let's say you still living with your parents, you in high school or whatever, you still living with your parents, all right? Now it comes to the point in time where, let's say, again, you just graduated out of high school. This is the prime time for you to be getting with a man and settling down, because first and foremost, the whole time you've been growing up in the household with your parents, you know what it's like to serve your daddy. When your daddy tell you to go do something, you go do it. You don't be like, fuck that nigga, I ain't doing shit. You know, your dad might be like, hey, you know, whatever your daughter's name is, Keisha, go grab me a beer. Or Keisha, go get the remote control. Or Keisha, wash these dishes. Or matter of fact, you know, you as the father eating or whatever, whatnot, or he in there watching TV. The daughter, because she been watching her mama cook, now the mama might be at work. Now the daughter's at the house cooking, making sure her father have that meal. You know what I'm saying? There's something about that, you know. And a lot of these examples I'm giving from out of my own experience growing up, you know. Seeing my grandparents and things like that, you know. Hey man, Pops was never coming home after work and there was no hot food for his ass, all right? We couldn't eat until my dad ate. You know what I'm saying? He always got the big piece of chicken. All right, no matter what, no matter how late my dad was working, we would all sit up and wait until he got home from work, and his food was always going to be hot. You know what I'm saying? And he got to eat first. All right, nobody was going to take a bite before he took his first bite. All right, and it was showing us certain things. Look, if he's the one going out while we all in the house and the AC and all this comfort and everything like that, watching TV and shit like that, he's the one out there in the field laboring to make sure that we got cable, we got groceries, we got electricity, we got all these different things. So when he come home, he gonna get the first fruits of all these things because he's the one providing for us. All right, just like how we are in everything that we do, we have to give all thanks and praise unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua because he's the ultimate provider for all these things. All right, without him, we couldn't enjoy none of this stuff. So what? And all things that we do, we give him praises and honor unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua first and foremost. All right, so the same thing. Look, when you got these young children growing up, This is why they fall in love with, their first love are their parents, and they look for those same things. So as a woman raising a child, first and foremost, you should have that father figure in the household, because why? You raising these daughters up and they saying that their mama raised all these single kids. What you think they gonna do? Raise more single kids, and then they ain't gonna have that stability. Your young daughter ain't gonna know how to be around no man and have a man treat them if they ain't never seen that example. All right. And these good examples should be your parents. All right. You should have your mom and your dad, you a kid, and your mom and your dad, you shouldn't be yelling and screaming in front of your kids like that, because why? Or being abusive to your wife or your husband like that, especially in front of your kids, because why? They gonna see that and they gonna be like, well, my dad beat my wife, so I beat my wife. I seen it, whatever, no big deal. You see what I'm saying? A lot of things that you kids do as adults now, you doing that because you seen your parents do it. Well, they did it, it's all right, whatever, whatnot. You think it's all right. Some people like, I ain't never did crack because I ain't never seen my parents do crack. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it would be all right because I ain't never seen them do it. They thought that it was bad, so I think it's bad too. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing. But if you grow up seeing your parents grow up being crackheads, they're going to be crackheads. So likewise, when you see your mothers talking down on your fathers or whatever, whatnot, you're going to see the same thing. But you should flip this and reverse it and use this to build up your families. All right. Use these things that the scriptures is telling you as a righteous path. All right. Get out of that independent woman spirit, all these different things like that. All right. You want to do things your own way. You got your own way of doing it. No, your desire should be to the husband. All right. As a woman, because he's the head of the household. All right. He's the one that's going to give you that they're covering, just like in the church. All right. Yahweh is the head, Yahweh is up under him and we up under him. You see what I'm saying? And then we, as the men of the Lord, are over the over our household. You see what I'm saying? We're over our wife and over the children. You see what I'm saying? But let me continue on. We go into the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3. Well, let me start up here. This is 1 Timothy 3 and 5. It says, this is 1 Timothy 3, and I'm going to start at verse 2. All right. Now, this is just, touching over to the men. All right. For a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you also see the examples of how you're supposed to conduct yourself. First and foremost, you call yourself a man of the Lord. You have to learn how to be a man first. All right. You got to learn how to be a man of your own household first and foremost. If you can't raise no house, you know what I'm saying, be the head of a household, even though you might have kids, you might not have kids. All right. You still have to be able to be responsible. All right. That's more or less what it's talking about. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's say you don't got no kids, right? But you living on your own. You still got to be responsible enough to pay your bills on time. You know what I'm saying? Get a job. Make sure you're not eating bullshit ass food. You're not eating double cheeseburgers every night. You know what I'm saying? You got to be more responsible. You got to be able to take care of certain things. You got to have a certain sense of responsibility, to be able to use, more or less to say. All right. But nevertheless, you got a family and some kids, and you kids is running all over the place. There ain't no order in your household. Same with your wife, man. How you gonna be, a shepherd over top of the Lord's sheep? How you gonna control them if you can't control your own household? All right. So you have to be able to understand these things. All right. Same with you women. All right. You want to be a mother and all these things, or, a lot of these women want to be queens and things like that. Well, that's somewhat in the sense of a leader. How you want to be a so-called leader, but you can't lead your own. First of all, you can't lead your own flesh. All right. Into a righteous path, let alone your children. All right. And the proof is in the pudding. This is why we have all these badass kids running around and all these. Hey, you see what it is outside. All right. So 1 Timothy 3 and 2, it says, a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. All right. So what? You have to be, let me just keep going on, reading down. It says, not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetousness, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. All right. Well, look, verse 5, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High? All right. So like I said, going into you men, how can, your whole household is out of order. You don't know how to be responsible for, let's just say it's just you. You don't have no kids or nothing like that. You're not even living a responsible life for your own self. You're not financially stable. Not saying you're supposed to be rich or nothing like that, but damn, you always falling behind on all your bills. Everything is always late and this and that. You can't take care of that. How you going to call yourself a man of the Lord trying to raise and have followers or people following you? Same with, just in a carnal sense. How you gonna try to be the head of the household or your own house or have a woman? How you gonna call yourself a man trying to have a woman when you irresponsible? You don't even know, like, you don't know how to take care of or provide for this here woman. What happens if y'all have children? You still don't know how to be a damn parent. You see what I'm saying? You want to be a grown ass man, have a woman, living with a woman and have kids, but you want to sit in the room all damn day playing Madden or PlayStation all goddamn day. You see what I'm saying? You got to grow up, get up out of that childhood state. You got to be an actual man, all right? You got to put that first and foremost before you want to be any other kind of man, a good man, a righteous man, a man of the Lord. Any type of these men that you want to be first and foremost, you got to become a man first, all right? And being a man ain't just being all big, tough, macho and having big muscles and stuff like that and going to work. No, you have to be able to learn how to rule over your own house, have discretion, be discernment, have to be able to know how to judge and rule over certain things, all right? Not being all emotional about a lot of things, like, well, you know, this is good for me, that's not good for me. Or let's just say dealing with women. Damn, she fine as shit, boy. That's the finest chick I've ever seen. I gotta go get with her. Well, that's not really being a wise man. You know what I'm saying? You got to first and foremost judge that woman. All right. You can't just be looking at her outer appearance. Oh, she just look fine as shit. Well, what kind of woman is this? She got 100 different kids and don't take care of none of them. She don't even keep her body clean. She got this foul ass odor coming out of her. You really want to be with this woman just because she look good? You're not making good choices. You don't have no real discretion. All right. And same with these here women, man. All right. You women, hey man, you walking down these here paths and you see everything is all destroyed and you still going down that same path. All right. You choosing not to repent or come back. You choosing not to seek help, man. All right. You have to be able to grow up first and foremost. You know, how can you be somebody else's woman when you can't be a woman first and foremost? You know, you just a bunch of little girls. You want somebody to take care of you, you know, be a parent unto you. You know, I don't want to have to be your father. You know what I'm saying? I want to be, you know, be your man, but I don't want to have to be your father. You know what I'm saying? Having to tell you how to go do this and do that. If I wanted to raise a little girl, I would just go have my own kids and just, you know, raise my daughter up like that. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you know, a lot of you women, all right, you want to be somebody's woman, a righteous woman or whatever, whatnot. First and foremost, you need to understand how to be a woman. All right. You have to understand how to do your women duties and things like that. All right. And another little side note, you know, talking about these roles being reversed. You have so many of these women being, how they say, toughened up like men, more or less to say, masculine men or masculine women. You seen all these women getting toughened up like men and wanting to be men and vice versa for these men. They becoming effeminate and watered down. But speaking on these here women, man, as just a note to you women, man, don't no man want no masculine ass woman, man. Don't no man, you know, speaking on tattoos and stuff like that, you know, I see this a lot with these women, man. They be covered from head to toe in tattoos and shit, man. Think back, who was always tatted up like that, man? The only times you seen people tatted up like that back in the day was what? These big ass bikers and shit like that, the men bikers, all right, and then people in prison, basically men. You didn't really see women tatted up like this, but now you got all these women tatted from head to toe, wearing men clothes, got the side of their head shaved, looking like men, talking like a man. You call a woman on the phone, you see women in the store, hey, how y'all doing? What's up? Trying to talk with man, come on, man. First, again, you need to learn your feminine role, being feminine. There's nothing more attractive than a woman. A woman could kind of be out of shape, kind of big, whatever, whatnot. Not even the prettiest woman. She could be kind of a little dorky or whatever, whatnot. But guess what? A man will be way more attractive to a woman that's super feminine than a fine ass woman that's acting all masculine. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got a fine ass chick or whatever, whatnot. She want to go, I got next on the court, nigga. I got next. We gonna run that on the court next, nigga. And she trying to dunk on you and shit. Like, hold up. You fine as shit, but you acting like another man and shit like that. Like, you got tendencies like a man. Hold up. I don't want nothing like that. You need to learn how to be a woman. Be feminine. You know what I'm saying? Be like that. You know what I'm saying? Women wearing dresses and things like that. There's nothing more sexier than that when a woman just wanting to be a woman. Not trying to be a man. Not trying to compete with a man. Not trying to, you know, do manly things, you know? Matter of fact, we was on the highways and the byways. It's a quick little testimony, man. We had a confusion of faith. Well, I ain't gonna say confusion of faith, Jake, but we had a Jake come up and he came up with his daughter, man. And we was actually talking about women too, but they was off to the side, you know, we was just into the, you know, the lesson we was doing. Right. But then they came up and they was both, you know, in order. We had to kind of check them for a minute. Like, damn, homeboy, you know, outwardly kind of look, you know, he was really light skinned, could possibly pass for an Edomite, right? Of some sort, somewhere else, right? But we was just, you know, examining the spirit, like, damn, they kind of quiet over there. They just looking and listening. Hey, y'all got any questions? Whatever, whatnot. They going into certain, you know, they wanted to understand what was going on. You know, long story short, they was Israelites, but homeboy had a daughter with him. All right. Now this young girl, all right, was so in order. She was so in order. This was like, man, me and the rest of the brothers, we was all rejoicing because this was something rare. We've never seen no woman like this in order, man. All right, this is a thing that we don't ever see. This is a rarity, man. You know what I'm saying? The beauty of this here woman, she was a little girl, but not to say her physical appearance, but just the beauty of that spirit of having a woman being humble, man. Homegirl was quiet, not loud and clamorous, not, daddy pulled me, you know, some kids be trying to pull their parents away, whatever, whatnot. She was like, look, wherever my dad go, whatever he do, I'm just going to be in subjection and order and be quiet. Homegirl wound up having a question. She wound up raising her hand. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, you know, when women want to talk, they need to raise their hand, but they, you know, it was men talking back and forth. We was talking to her dad and he was talking to us, you know what I'm saying? But instead of just interjecting and putting her 2 cents in, she kind of waited for a little turn and she asked to speak. You know what I'm saying? She asked a question and she was dealt with accordingly. All right. Not only that, you know what I'm saying? We out walking around. You see, it was like a B2K concert going on around us and shit. But then you see all these women walking around showing their body and all kinds of, that's what we was talking about. Women walking around showing their body and whatever, whatnot, you know? And we were saying like, yo, why are these women, you know, getting raped or whatever, all these different things? Because why they dressed up like whores and sluts, man. You need to be in order. Like like I said, when we seen this young girl with her father, man, that was a sight we had never seen before. She was not dressed provocative, especially as a young child, even though they dressing these young children up, but she was dressed accordingly of how a young woman should be dressing. She was wearing pants, but you know, she don't know she Israelite at that point in time. But nevertheless, she wasn't wearing no provocative clothing for her age or anything like that. She wasn't showing no skin. She was quiet in the subjection beside her father. All right. She even basically sat down on you know, on the side and was just listening, man. And that was just such a beautiful thing, first and foremost, to have a woman in our presence and her mouth was closed. All right. Not trying to say, oh, you women just need to shut the fuck up. But hey, man, the last thing that, you know, especially a man want to hear is a woman just loud and clamorous, just all the time, just flapping off at the gums. And really, you're not even saying that. You're just talking just to hear your own voice because it's built inside of you to want attention. All right. Like the scriptures say, the glory of a man is his woman. All right. And the glory of a woman is her hair. You know, she got her hair well set and all these different things. She's trying to show off. That's her glory. She's trying to be noticed. All right. She's seeking attention, people to look at her. So she's constantly talking. All right. Hey, man, but that's not a spirit that you women should be in. You should be quiet and in subjection. All right. Like the scriptures set forth for you. All right. But like I said, hey, man, there's nothing more attractive than what? A woman being feminine. All right. And then also a woman in her place and on her order and being quiet and in subjection, man. All right. Instead of just coming out there talking, hey, daddy, I'm ready. You know, if this little girl was, daddy, I'm ready to go. I'm tired of being over here. I don't want to be over here. Listen, this is boring. This is this and that. Like, you never even know, man. They might be trying to help you out, man. They might be trying to give you salvation some kind of way. You don't even know it, man. You know, I'll give you another example. You know, I see, you know, I tell my mom this all the time. Like, yo, man, sometimes just listen. You talk too much, man. You just be going off at the mouth all the time, man. There's 2 occasions where we were in a store somewhere dealing with some type of service and somebody trying to hook you up and give you some kind of deal, but you just keep on talking. And they're like, yeah, we get what you're trying to do. Let us hook you up and give you the hookup. But since you want to keep running your mouth, fuck it, we'll charge you extra then. You know, we're trying to save you some money, you know what I'm saying? And 2 people, you know, a man and a woman, like, is she always like this? Like, if you would just stop cutting me off and let me talk, I'm trying to give you a deal. But see, being loud and clamorous, and you just wanted all that talking, man, you miss out on a lot of blessings, man. The Most High be trying to give you a lot of, and like the scripture says, better to hold thy foot when thou enterest into the house of the Most High, man. Because you might miss your blessings, keep talking all that shit. You just talking. All right. But nevertheless, let me just continue on in this. This is 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 11. It says, even so, their wives must be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. All right. So not slanderers, not out there just talking shit. You're not supposed to be out there gossiping with your girlfriends and talking down about your man or whatever, whatnot. Or you young women talking to your moms about your husband or vice versa, man. You're not supposed to be out there slandering. You know, when they talking about slanders, you know, first of all, you're not supposed to be out there gossiping about nobody else's business first and foremost. You seen what Keisha did? You seen what Rhonda did? No, you ain't supposed to be doing that. But let alone, you definitely ain't supposed to be talking to no other person about your husband, whether it be, first of all, you shouldn't even be talking to no other man like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't your brother or one of your relatives or nothing like that, you shouldn't be talking to no other man, because see what? You, just like a man, you know, well, a man can have multiple women, but nevertheless, like a man shouldn't be talking to another man's wife, because why? Ultimately, you know, you opening the door for y'all to fall, more or less to say, for you to start sleeping with another man's woman, vice versa. If a woman out there talking to another man, let's say it's at work about your man problems, and all you doing is telling him all the negative stuff, he gonna wind up talking to you about it being with your man. All right. Or you talking to your girlfriends about your man. oh man, he always doing this, he always doing it. He don't let me do this, he don't let me do that. But then guess what? They gonna want to try to separate you. So what? You don't need to be out there slandering your man. All right, or anything that you do. You can say this about your job. You shouldn't be going to work or being around people at work that's always talking about, man, I hate this job, because that spirit gonna hop onto you. You're gonna start saying you hate the job too, even though to you it was the best paying job you ever had, the best job you ever had. That was the best job you've ever had. But yet, because somebody's always gossiping and slandering, the job around you, now that spirit jumped up on you. So look, these women, you shouldn't be doing this at all either, man. Somebody talking about they husbands or whatever, whatnot. Well, that ain't my business. I don't want to be in their business, Or I'm not gonna be telling you the juice about my husband. That's our business. Whatever we do, that's on us, man. All right, just like men, speaking as a man, men don't really be around other men talking about what they be doing with they mainstay, they wife or they main girlfriend. Like, yeah, dog, man, let me tell you what I did with my wife last night, man. I was doing X, Y, and Z, bruh. She can do this and she can do that. Nah, man, we don't be telling, because we don't even want our homies to be visualizing the type of shit that our wives be doing. We don't want them to visualize our wife like that, because it's leading them to basically falling, man. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing with you women. You shouldn't be wanting to do these types of things, slandering your man, talking and gossiping around about your man or your relationships and these types of things, man. You should be quiet and discreet. All right. You should You should want to keep your business as your business. All right. Like how you always be telling everybody else, stay out of my business. You should live a real private lifestyle. All right. Everybody shouldn't know all of your business. All right. You should be discreet with all the things that you do. All right. Continuing on, verse 12. Did I skip something? Oh, verse 12. Let the deacons of the husbands, the deacons be the husbands of one wife, ruling their children and their own house as well. So again, going into, just ruling your house well, speaking on the men and the women. All right. The men, like I said, you want to be a man of the Lord. First and foremost, you have to conquer being a man first. Being responsible, taking up for your responsibilities, all right? Actually putting forth work towards certain things. Not just saying going to go get a job, but actually putting forth work to build up certain things. You as a man are not in a position just for everything to fall out the sky and fall into your lap, all right? You have to actually go and put forth work on certain things. But if you don't got that type of drive, then you can't really, if you're simple and settle with whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Just because you have something, like I got a little cousin, just because he got a job, he think, well, I got a job. Say, yeah, but that job ain't really getting you nowhere, man. You got to actually be a man. You're going to have to want more for yourself than just having a job just to please everybody else, just so you can say, oh, I got a job. All right. No, you got to want more for your own stuff. You got to grow up to be your own man. You can't just be, you know what I'm saying? You got to take some initiative in your own self to grow in your own self. Ain't nobody going to really be there trying to guide you like that. You supposed to be the God. How you going to guide somebody when you ain't even guiding yourself into a path of righteousness? All right. Same with the women, man. How you want to be a mother, a so-called leader, a queen, somebody to be looked up to when your kids, you're not even a good role model to your kids. Your kids can't even look up to you like, you know what? I got a good example with my mother. All right. Your kids are still looking up to you, but they got the bad example. You got these young women looking up to their mama twerking in the strip club when that song come on or whatever, whatnot. They out there shaking their booty and stuff like that. Got you women out here, having your kids taking pictures and stuff like that. And, of you twerking or you in half naked pictures and stuff like that. What do you think these kids are going to grow up to do? What do you think they're going to grow up to be, man? Right. So you have to learn how to rule your own house and learn your own position and play your position well, man. All right. So let me continue on. This is Colossians 3:18. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as it fits in Yahweh. All right. So going into this, it says, wives, submit to your husbands. This is where a lot of, especially our women, only our women have a problem with this. They have a problem with submitting to their husbands because why? They have it into their mind when they say, oh, submit to your husband. It means like, look, when he say, I'm gonna put a dog collar around your neck and put you in a dog cage and feed you kibbles and bits. That's what it's supposed to mean. Hey, I guess you got to put this chain around my neck and put me in the cage. That's not what it's talking about. All right. Let me read it again. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as it is fit in the Lord. All right. So this is how it's supposed to be. First and foremost, the Lord is not telling you to go out here and get with these wicked men and go follow these wicked men, start eating pork and cursing the Most High, blaspheming and doing all that. That would be an abomination. That's not even, the Most High is not the author of confusion. He's not going to tell you to go do no dumb shit like that. All right. He's trying to see you. The things he's telling you is for your prosperity and for your growth. All right. Hey, the Most High actually is, he does got the prosperity doctrine, but not prosperity financially, more or less to say. He's trying to see you grow and prosper in a good life. All right. So he's not going to tell you to go get with no bad, wicked ass man and submit yourself unto him. It's talking about submitting yourself into what? A man of the Lord. All right. A man that's already in his righteous state of mind. Not saying he's going to be fully righteous. He is going to make some mistakes and things like that. Go off or whatever, whatnot. Hey, you're going to have trouble in the flesh. That's where we at. We're not perfect here. But nevertheless, get you a righteous man. All right. A man of the Lord that's in his righteous mind state and state of mind. All right. He's going to have you submit unto him. All right. But he's not going to lead you into no folly, man. He's not going to use and abuse you to the extent to where, you know, it's unpleasing to you, you know. So you women have to learn how to submit yourselves unto your husbands, all right, as it is fitting the Lord. Because why? The man of the Lord is not going to tell you, again, to go out there and sell your body on the side of the road. Oh, I got to submit myself unto him, all right. But on the flip side, you women, all right, you only have a problem when we telling you this and we telling you flat out. But yet and still, you'll go around and you be chasing. Why do I always like go for the bad boys? You know, you hear that. And these women, they chase after these men, and these men have them doing all kind of crazy stuff. You know, I was with a man, or how do you think pimps and hoes, that whole relationship get down? You see what I'm saying? They're submitting themselves into this man that's got them going on the corner of the block selling their body, bringing all the money back to him. He be pimp slapping them all up, all kind of crazy shit. But I love him, daddy. He take care of me. It'd be 5 or 6 women. So I'm like, yo, that's exactly what we telling y'all should be doing, but that's doing it in wickedness, you know? He got multiple women. Like the scriptures say, a man can have multiple wives. They basically in subjection under him, but he got them out there doing wicked shit. We trying to tell you the same exact thing, but we're not trying to have you out there doing no wicked shit. Y'all just a bunch of his concubines, you know what I'm saying? We would have you to be our wives, be the mother of our children. We all one big family together. You see what I'm saying? But what? You'll want to go out there and basically turn tricks for for your pimp. You submit yourself onto this here pimp, man. You don't get to touch and control none of the money. All right? You see what I'm saying? Or just like us men or anybody that's a working person, you know, you go to work, you submit yourself into your boss, man. All right. Your boss tell you, look, come to work on this time at that time. I need you to start on this here project. I need you to do that. You go ahead and you do it. You know, it's not wicked when your boss be telling you to do certain things because that's his job. He's your boss. You his servant. You have to submit unto him. Now, there are fine lines and lines that you draw. You know, if you're a female and your boss is telling you, look, come into the office and let me hit that. Of course, you're not going to submit unto that request because why? Or that demand, because that's a wicked demand. All right. That's basically be akin to you being with a wicked ass nigga, man. That's not what we telling you. We telling you, look, man, you should submit unto your husbands. Just like you go to work and you submit to your boss. Your boss ain't telling you nothing wicked. He trying to tell you how to do what you got to do to get business going, man. Like he say, look, man, I need you to throw in a pepperoni pizza, a cheese pizza, whatever, whatnot. He's doing that because that's what we need to get done for this here business to go on. I'm telling you what to do as it fits inside of our business structure. All right. Now, if you're working at Pizza Hut or whatever, whatnot, you know, like I said, it's lawful for him to tell you to make this here pizza, put this here pizza in, go on this here delivery. You know what I'm saying? Wear this here outfit, put this here visor on. You got to submit it to him. You go to any job with a damn uniform that you got to wear, you already in submission. That's the first sign of it. You know, go to Best Buy, everybody wearing them blue shirts. All them women inside of Best Buy, you know, wearing them damn blue shirts. How dare you say you don't want to be in subjection under a man when you clearly at work in subjection under a man? You see what I'm saying? Whatever that man tell you to do, you off tomorrow or you suspended from work or whatever, you're going to do it. But how much more your own husband that's ultimately trying to build with you? You see what I'm saying? So you need to submit yourselves into your own husbands, All right. Because another thing that these women will do, they'll sit here and serve other men that ain't even their damn husband before they serve their own husband, man. They'll go out and they'll go and cook for this man and that man. Like these women, they'll have their husband. That's their husband because he financially can take care of them or whatever, whatnot. But these women go out in the streets and they got their own so-called male friends, all right, that they take care of and do way better things for them. You know, the wife might not, she been married to this dude for 20 years, don't know what to get him for his birthday, the things he like, whatever, whatnot. But she got some male friends. She know all their birthdays, the things that they like. Oh, when so-and-so birthday come along, I'm gonna get him this because I know he like that. But then when your own husband birthday come around, you don't know the type of shit that he like. Hey man, you should be the wife to your own husband, all right? You need to know and take care of and deal with and only be worried about your own husband, all right? Just like parents, you're really only working and dealing with your own kids. You're not worried about the kids down the block, man. Them ain't your kids. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about what the hell they wearing or what they eating or whatever, whatnot. You only worry about your kids, you know? But continuing on, it says, verse 18 again, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as it fits in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. All right. Hey, for you husbands, you ain't supposed to be bitter against your wife. All right. Now, there's a slippery slope with that, because why? A lot of the times men are actually bitter towards their wives because of why? They tired of hearing that mouth. You come home and you never good enough for them. All right. You come home because you had to work over late at work or whatever, whatnot. Damn, why you always coming home late? Why you always working? Well, we under these curses. We in captivity. This is what we need to do. You like all this extra shit. You want to send the kids to this private school. It all costs money. I got to do all this other stuff, you know? So yeah, man is going to kind of like, how do I say, be bitter towards his wife when she always nagging him and stuff like that. But that's not what the scripture here is talking about here. You know, you shouldn't be coming home. You see it on TV where you see these guys that come home, they be all extra drunk and just want to beat their wife because they just want to beat their wife. You know, that's really a punk, man. You want to get off your little anger or whatever, whatnot, but you want to go beat up on the weaker vessel. All right, go out there and go fight another man, man. Don't come home and be beating your wife, cussing your wife out for no reason. Come here, you stupid, dirty bitch, and this and that, man. Hey, nah, man. You shouldn't be wanting to do all that, you know. And yeah, you know, there's sympathy for women like that, because there are a lot of good women, you know, and it seemed to fall like this. You know, a lot of these really good women are actually with some of these wrong men who's taking advantage of all the things that they got. All right, but nevertheless, we telling you how to live in righteousness, or the people you should be with in righteousness, how things should supposed to be going down. You know, you might have women that submit themselves, like they're very submissive, you know, unto their men or their husband, but they always with, you know, the wrong dude. You know, they didn't want to be submissive unto a pimp or a player. That's not the man you should be trying to seek out. You should be trying to seek out the men of the Lord. All right. And, you know, for you women, you know, Lord willing, this here lesson is showing you into the minds of the men of the Lord, you know, that, hey, man, we're not really all that rah stuff. You know, like I said, man, we basically telling you the same thing. It's the same type of relationship as if you basically trying to be a hoe and you trying to work for the pimp. It's the same shit. We just not having you out there doing the same shit like pimping and whoring. You're still in subjection under your husband. If you gonna go out there and go do that, you gonna go work in the players club and shit, do all that for dollar bill. Hey, man, why not do that for your own husband, man? They out there got you selling your body and turning tricks, but you won't do this for your own husband, man. All right. Continuing on. Let me read this as well too. 20 and 21. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord. All right. Now, going hand in hand, you know, speaking to the parents, not really the children, but going to the parents, you need to be gods unto your children. Be, good role models unto your children. All right. Be a set a good example unto your children. All right. You know, there's a lot of parents out here setting bad examples for their children, and they see the children doing the same thing, and then they get mad at their children or wonder why their children is doing that. You know, you got your parents being alcoholics and drunks and everything like that, wondering why their kids is alcoholics and drunks. You know, you got how do I say, these parents out here being unruly or whatever, whatnot, setting bad examples for their children, wondering why the children are unruly. So look, your children are going to soak up whatever the parents do. So you parents, you need to watch how you are around your children. All right. Just like with you women, you shouldn't be walking around the damn house with your booty cheeks all hanging out around your daughter, because what? Your daughter going to wind up doing the same thing next too. All right. Now you might have a husband where you might want to dress provocative around, you know, your husband or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you might be the type of woman that do that and don't do it out in the streets. But now you see your daughter or your daughter see you doing this, and she don't understand, and she want to go out in the streets and go do all this for any and everybody. You setting a bad example. You know, you got to let her know, like, nah, this is only for your one dad. I don't go and show everybody all these types of things. So again, your kids are like sponges. They soaking up everything around you. You have to be a good example into them, especially you women. All right. You women, you should be training up and teaching your daughters about the right type of men to be with. All right. There's a lot of this gossiping, you know, the right type of woman, the right type of man for you. For all of our women, you know, what their parents tell them, their mama tell them is that he better have a good job and have some money. You know, he better have his own house. This is a so-called good man. All right. But see, that same man could have a good job, good money, got a house and everything like that, but he's abusive. He could be a drug addict. You see, he could be a killer. He could be a psychopath. All right. These are all, you know, they don't tell them about none of these types of things. They don't even tell them how to be a good wife to that husband, how to keep that husband. All right. The only thing that they tell them how to do is how to catch that husband. Look, girl, go put on these little tight yoga pants or whatever, whatnot. Pull them all the way up so he can see your whole box and he can see what it all look like. So he ain't got to wonder. Make sure your booty cheeks is hanging out, your tits is hanging out and everything, and go up in his face. Go twerk it on him one time. He'll fall right on in love with you. All right. But nevertheless, you need to be showing your kids how to be a good example into your kids. All right. Raise them up the righteous way. All right. Verse 21, fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. All right. Going into, you parents again. All right. Don't be talking down to your children, discouraging your children, especially, you know, you single mothers and stuff like that, talking to your daughters, you little dirty heifer, you little whore and stuff like this. Then what do? They grow up to be whores. All right, talking to you, your sons. You ain't gonna be shit just like your daddy. Your daddy wasn't shit. You gonna be just like your daddy. You look, or this is another thing. You look just like your daddy. That's a very dangerous line to tell a child, even if they do look just like they daddy. You know, because in one breath you always saying you look just like your damn daddy. You look just like your damn daddy, and in another breath you always talk about your daddy ain't shit. You know, so what is that really telling your child, man? When you look at, you know, and this is what's really deep about this. When the mothers, they despise the baby's father. And then they see the baby's father inside the image of the child. So they wind up hating that child too, that male child, because every time they see you, you remind them of their father. All right. So they wind up hating that child and distancing themselves against that child. So what? They wind up provoking the child. Like, yo, how you going to treat me bad because I look like my father? You made a bad decision, bad choice, being irresponsible, getting with him. And then now all of a sudden, you know, you're like, oh, he ain't shit. Well, you know, he wasn't shit when you got with him. You know what I'm saying? But then you decide to do that. Now I'm born and you say I remind you of him all the time. Now you putting me down the whole time of my whole life. I ain't never heard nothing positive come from my own mama mouth. So what kind of mind state and stability, where do you think I'm going to be at as I'm growing up? You see what I'm saying? But continuing on. Oh, let me read this as well too. It says, verse 22, servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as man pleases, but in singleness of heart, fearing the Most High. All right. So look, when you're doing these things, you know, when you're submitting yourselves, all right, you should be submitting yourselves in, in purity of heart. You're not doing it just for eye service or whatever, whatnot. You know, like you're a husband and a wife, y'all going out, and your wife so-called serving the husband because they're around the family, whatever, whatnot. But then you get home, you don't never cook for your man at home. You know, you talk all kind of shit to your man at home, but we all out in public. Y'all look like y'all got, you know, the best relationship. Everything is, you know how we seen Barack and Michelle Obama, right? Every time we seen them on TV, everything always seemed to appear nice. All right. We never seen them really arguing or whatever, whatnot. You know, things shouldn't be like that. You know, you shouldn't be you know, out there in the public eyesight, look like everything is all good. Then you go to the house and you argue and fight and y'all can't get along. Not saying that's how their relationship was, but again, how we saw them, everything was always in a good light, but we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And what I'm saying is you don't want to have to be behind closed doors and everything is all completely different. All right. You just doing this for the pleasing of man, for their eye service, with them to see on the outside. All right. Let me continue on. I got a couple more. We're going to close out. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Again, it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. Again, you're supposed to be submitting unto your own husband. All right. Make sure you're taking care of your own man first and foremost. All right. And then again, how can you submit unto, you want to be an independent woman? You know, how can you be an independent woman so you don't need the Lord? You know, and how can you don't want to submit to a man, but so what's your relationship with the Lord? Oh, I know he my savior. This is not, well, how he your savior, but you don't want to submit to him. You got your own way of doing. He tell you to do whatever, whatnot, and you want to do the opposite. Nah, I ain't feeling that today. I'm gonna do what I want to do. It don't work like that, man. Yahushua can't even do that with his own father, man. All right, he ain't independent. He ain't just rolling around doing whatever he want to do. All right, he's in subjection under his father. All right, under our father. All right, so it says Ephesians 5 and 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church. And he is the savior of the body. All right. So what? Yahushua is the savior of the body. All right. Being the head of the church. All right. Ultimately, he the one brought salvation unto us. But guess what? At the same thing. All right. The same time it says, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church. All right. So now who's basically like it says Yahushua is the head of the church, but who's really in the church? Who's the body of the church, more or less to say? All right. The body of the church is what? The men of the Lord. We the bodies. All right. There's many members, but one body. All right. But nevertheless, we being the body. All right. Yahushua is the head over us. All right. So now going into that body, who's up under that in that body? The wives. All right. So there's an order here. All right. So let me read this again. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. So again, the Most High, all right, Yahweh, wound up giving and granting everything unto Yahushua. He wound up saving him and putting him up on a pedestal. All right, exalting him in his name. All right, now Yahushua did the same thing. He was given a certain group of men, which is the elect, and he was going to lift them up and exalt them up on high. All right, which is the elect. All right, and then they in subjection under him. All right, and then the same thing, you have their wives. Their wives supposed to be in subjection under their husbands. All right, the wives can't just say, oh, we ain't in subjection under that. We're going to be over top of the church. We're going to be the head of the church. How the hell are you the head of the church when Yahushua is the head of the church? All right, we the body. How does that work out? All right. So it says, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church. He is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. All right. So, hey, just like there's an order, the Most High has a way and things he's prescribed. All right. He told Yahushua, if you want to reign, you're going to have to go up on that cross. You're going to have to, redeem Israel. You're going to have to do these certain things. He had to wind up doing it. Yahushua said, look, Father, if it be so, take this here cup away from me. But but nevertheless, not my will, but thy will. All right. He was in full subjection and submissive unto his father. All right. He didn't want to do, what he had to do. He was like, man, this is a heavy cup. You know what I'm saying? But, we always say that, you women, you deal emotionally and we deal logically. But at the same time, we got emotions too. You know what I'm saying? So we sometimes get emotional too. That was a sign, Yahushua, I don't want to do all this, so on and so forth. This is fucked up. But at the same time, being logical, I know what I got to do. That's the difference between a man and a woman. We can step out of our emotions and we start thinking logically. All right. So what? Yahushua didn't want to necessarily have to go through the things that he was going through, but he understood what he had to do because he was in subjection under our Father. All right. And playing that role accordingly for a certain thing, a certain outcome. All right. The same way with us men, we might not want to have to get up every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to this damn job and be under the so-called white man, but we have to do it for what? To bring home the bread and to feed our family, bring home provisions. Same with you women. You might not want to be independent and discreet under your husband, so on and so forth. But hey, man, if you really love your kids and you want to see them go down the right path and things and so on and so forth, there's a certain way and a certain thing of doing this. You can't be a super fat person and want to be skinny, but don't want to diet right, eat right, and exercise. You're going to have to go through the things that you don't want to go through to get to where you want to be at, man. All right, you have to understand it. It's not going to just fall out the sky for you, all right? It says, verse 24 again, therefore let as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husband in everything. All right. So in everything that you do, you should be in subjection under your husband. There should be no situations where you should come up and be like, well, I'm the boss. I'm going to make the final decision. All right. If anything, you should be coming to your husband with these certain things. Hey, look, I was thinking about doing such and so forth. I was thinking about letting little Timmy go over to so-and-so's house. What do you think about this? All right. Your father shouldn't be coming home like, where my damn kids at? Oh, I'll let them go over to so on and so forth. Well, I didn't decide that was all right for them to go do that or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You should be running that by your husband. All right. Or, you should be in subjection under your husband. All right. It says, therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it. All right. So husbands, you should be loving your wives. All right. This is not just a, piece of sex meat, you know what I'm saying, that basically you can use and abuse this here woman however you want. She's just gonna go out there and serve you and do everything for you. I only got you around, bitch, to be my servant, to go out here and go get all this here and go get all of that. It's got to be a little more than that, Yeah, we serve, we servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but we just not servants like that. You see what I'm saying? The Lord love us. He take care of us. You know what I'm saying? When we down and we out, he give us provisions. He provide for us, man. Our bills need to get paid. The Lord make sure our bills is paid, man. We starving, we hungry. The Lord make sure we get food in our belly. All right. We weak. We, how do you say? We weak or we down in the spirit right now. The Lord come through and comfort us, man. All right. The Lord is our ultimate woman. Really, we the woman and the Lord is the man. You see what I'm saying? When we crying and we need somebody to hold us and comfort us, what do? We get on our knees and we crying to the Lord, man. And the Lord come through for us every single time, man. All right. So the same thing with the women. All right. Well, actually with you men. All right. This is how you supposed to be loving your wife, man, and taking care of your wife, man. When your wife got problems and things like that, she's supposed to be able to come to you and basically, like I said, like how we go to the Lord, we pray to the Lord, like, yo, man, whatnot. Lord, I need this job to come through. Lord, I'm broke right now, Lord, or Lord, this is going on, that going on. I need you to come through with something. I need you to provide for me, X, Y, and Z. I need you to come through with this or that, And guess what? The Lord every time come through. All right. The same way that you men should be with your women. All right. Your woman need this. She needs some advice. She needs some counseling. She needs comfort. She going through some certain things. Especially you have to understand she's an emotional creature. She's going to be going through certain things like that. All right. So you have to be able to deal with her accordingly. All right. When she needs certain things and certain stuff like that, you're supposed to provide these things for your wife. All right. Let me, verse 28, 28 and 29. It says, so ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hateth his own flesh, but nourish and cherish it, even as the Lord, the church. All right. So yeah, we servants, we in subjection, us being the men of the Lord, we servants in subjection. All right. We the Lord's wife. All right. We all these so-called terms that you women hate hearing, as if we a prisoner or a slave, which we are. But at the same time, it's not to the extent of what you think it's like. You see what I'm saying? Look, hey man, we would be dead right now. The men of the Lord could tell you right now, we would be dead right now. We'd probably be homosexuals with dyed color hair, all kind of fucked up shit right now if it wasn't for the Lord. The Lord provide for us, man. The Lord give us this strength, man, nourishment, man. And we be broke down all the time. We got all kind of demons be hitting us. So guess what? Every time we getting hit, we got to go to the Lord, man. We go to the Lord, we pray, and we ask for the Lord to provide for us, man. All right. And a lot of times, a lot of our problems, every brother's problem isn't a financial problem. So it's not necessarily saying, oh, we need the Lord or our husband to provide for us. It's just monetary provisions. No, it might be for other things. It might be for comfort. It might be for companionship. It might be for all kinds of different things, You can have a man of the Lord that's, going through whatever kind of walk in life, and the Lord will wind up comforting them, But nevertheless, let me continue on. We're going to go to the book of Titus. This is Titus chapter 2, verse 3. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. All right. So you elderly women or you older women. All right. Put it this way. If you really any of you women. Right. But if you're a woman, because I say that because really you always have women that's always looking up to a woman that's a little higher than her, like the middle school girls. Or the middle school girls are looking up to the high school girls. Or if you're in high school, the freshman girls are looking up to the senior girls. You see them saying? They see, oh, she the varsity cheerleader or whatever, whatnot. These girls grow up to be in that same path. This is why you still see these same positions in all these schools, generation after generation. They just following after the people in front of them. All right. But likewise, like the Nicki Minaj's right now. See, she's not really an elderly woman. But guess what? All these teenage women coming up out of high school and in college, those are their role models. These are their examples that they following after. Same likewise with your parents, you women, all right? You should be a good role model unto your children. Or even if it's not your children, it might be your nieces, your granddaughters, or just you, might not even be your own kids. You might not even have no kids, but yet and still the way you carry yourself out in public is going to show forth, just like how we are supposed to be a light unto the Gentiles, all right? We don't have to necessarily go everywhere, be preaching on to everybody and all kind of different things, but just the way we carry and conduct ourselves, some people might ask, what's the difference between you and something different about you? Oh, well, we believe in this, we believe in that. We certain things like that. And like, oh, that makes more sense now. You know what I'm saying? You have a better, you have certain type of character, with yourself, like the men of the Lord, especially us being Israelites, we're supposed to be the biggest criminals on the planet Earth, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You be around a man of the Lord and see somebody drop their wallet full of some money, man. The man of the Lord will pick that wallet up and they'll go return it to that man, especially if it's one of their brethren, man. Even if it might even be our enemy, man, because the scriptures say, look, man, do well to your enemy like that, because you heaping coals upon his head like that, because he thinking so bad about you the whole time, and you came and brought him a gift. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, I returned your wallet, whatever, whatnot, But at the end all be all, this is going into us living a certain type of way and shining forth as a light in the darkness to people looking at us that way. All right. So this is how you women should be conducting yourself. All right. As a role model to everybody else looking at you. All right. You might be a single mother, or you might be an elderly woman where your kids, you might have grown kids. All right. But there's a way in you doing certain things like that. All right. Like, for instance, growing up in my my grandma and stuff like that, every Sunday, my grandma got up and went to church. We went to church damn near 6 days out the week, man. But nevertheless, I knew every Sunday my grandma was getting up and going to church. You see what I'm saying? Growing up in with my grandma never took us out to eat. We might go out to eat, some Sunday after church, go get some ice cream from the Dairy Queen. Certain events, we might go out to a restaurant for somebody's birthday, but damn near 90% of the time, my grandma was cooking in the household. All right. But guess what? All my female cousins, they really akin and accustomed to eating home cooked food. They're not really accustomed to going out to eat all the damn time, because why? Not only was their mothers, all right, being influenced by their mother, which is our grandmother, they only used to be cooking all the damn time. They used to seeing that image of that woman in the kitchen over the stove cooking all day long, doing laundry, cleaning the house, taking care of their husbands. They are accustomed to seeing things like that. So that's not nothing far out of their mind. What's weird to them is going out to eat every night when they could be cooking at home, man. All right. I got a female cousin came down to visit from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? First thing she do when her and her homegirl come down here is like, hey, cuz, we gonna come down there, whatever, whatnot. We gonna go to the grocery store. We gonna go grocery shopping. First thing we do when we get there, we gonna go grocery shopping for the whole week. We gonna be here because we gonna cook when we come into town, man. It's out of the question going out to eat. We don't really want to go out to eat. We want to cook. You know what I'm saying? We want to cook. That's just how it is. So you elderly women or any woman in any age, you're going to always have younger women looking up to you. So be that positive role model. You don't even have to say certain things. You know, my grandma didn't have to sit here and say, look, women, y'all need to be cooking every night for your man, this and that. No, my grandma just did it by example. She was leading by example. Every day she cooking. My cousin saw that. Every day, after she got done cooking, she cleaned her kitchen, man. After she got done eating, she washed all the dishes, man. These dishes wasn't left in the sink overnight. My grandma never had to tell nobody, hey, man, don't no dishes get left in the sink overnight. I shouldn't have to wake up in the morning and see some dishes in the sink. She never had to tell nobody that. You see what I'm saying? She never had to tell me that the trash getting full need to be taken out. Because it was at a certain point in time, I already understood how it was just by looking. And now I know to take out the trash. It's time for trash to go out. It's time for us to go do this. It's time for us to go do that. So you have to live your life as an example. Like not just you women, but you men as well too. You see what I'm saying? But this lesson is more or less dealing with these women on how to, live a righteous life, the example you should be setting. All right. And you have a job and a role as well too, man. When we talk about raising up our kids, man. All right. If a man of the Lord is dealing with one of you women, especially if you're a so-called righteous woman, we want our children to be righteous as well too. So you go and you do that job and raising our children up to be in righteousness. All right. Teach our daughters how to cook, man. Teach our sons the type of women that they want to be with, it's just certain little things that you might not know, man. I can say, for instance, like my mom told me, look, you don't ever want to date no woman with no super long fake fingernails because they can't really clean under their nails. It's going to be dirty when they cooking. They really can't clean, like when they go to the bathroom, they can't really clean themselves down there that well because these nails are super long. So you know that they're not really clean. So these are the type of things that your parents or these elderly people should be telling to the younger people so you don't walk into these here traps, Had I not known that about, dealing with my mom telling me things like that, I could have went out here and got one of these women, not knowing this woman's super nasty. You see what I'm saying? But my mother teach me in righteousness, hey, this is how you supposed, this, you don't want this type of woman because, hey, I'm telling you as a woman myself, I know how things get down. All right. Same thing like when, men could tell their daughters, look, man, I know I'm being a man. I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? What this man is thinking about when he's telling you so on and so forth. Like, I already know what path you're finna go down. You don't want to deal with that type of man. All right. But continuing on, Titus 2:3, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. So leading as an example, not just telling people what to do, but you also walking in that same example. All right. You can't be a woman who go out to eat every night telling your daughter, girl, you need to learn how to cook. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how to cook a home cooked meal, cook a meal from scratch or whatever, whatnot. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm telling her that, but you going out to eat every night. You see what I'm saying? It says the aged woman likewise, they be in behavior as becometh holiness. All right. Living according to the law. All right. Or to the best of your ability, more or less to say. Not false accusers. All right. So, hey, that's another thing, you always come home. You always talking shit to your man. Why you always out here with so-and-so? Hey, that's one thing that a man really hates, man. All right. Especially a man of the Lord, because first and foremost, being an Israelite, whether you be a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, our whole life we've been falsely accused of all kind of shit. You raper, you be raping, murdering, robbing, murdering, lazy, all these different things, man. And man, they accuse us of all kind of different things. They demonize us and mischaracterize us in all kind of different ways. So we like this. We being affected by this on all kind of different levels. You see what I'm saying? When we go to work, oh, he's going to be stealing. We walk through a parking lot, the doors start locking as if they know us personally. They know that we got a record of robbing people. Like, bitch, you've never seen me a day in your life. Why would you assume that I was going to come and rob you and take your purse? You see what I'm saying? But I know by history that your people actually brought me into captivity over here, and you doing all this crazy stuff to me. All right. But every time I see a so-called white person, I don't flinch and grab my kids like, oh shit. I don't go out to the beach and see a bunch of white people on boats. Like, oh, hell nah. We remember the last time we was around white people in boats, man. You see what I'm saying? Nah, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you don't want to be a false accuser, gossiping, always talking all kind of crazy stuff, coming home. You probably, talking to your man, you probably didn't even do this. You probably didn't even do that. You probably, so-and-so, so forth. You didn't even think about me last night. You forgot all about me. You wasn't even worried about that, because a man might have been, was going to get you, let's say, get you something for your birthday or whatever, or didn't forget about your birthday, didn't forget about your anniversary. He might have had something planned, you know what I'm saying? But then the whole, a man, all right, prime example, a man got him and his wife or whatever, whatnot. He trying to surprise his wife about the anniversary, you know what I'm saying? He trying to play it off like he kind of like, forgot about it or it's not that important. But little do she know, he done got the whole thing planned out. They got a nice dinner set and a nice little boat ride afterwards set, whatever, whatnot. And he just got her in the car, whatever, whatnot. The whole time, the whole ride, homegirl's over here arguing and screaming with him. Yeah, you broke ass nigga. You probably weren't gonna do shit anyway, whatever, whatnot, you know, so on and so forth. Just accusing the whole time. He just thinking like, this ungrateful bitch. I'm on the way to taking you somewhere, something super nice. The whole ride, you just cussing me out about this, you know? Or I already did such and such for you the whole time. Yeah, you a sorry ass nigga. I know you wouldn't did this and that for me anyway. But like, damn, bitch, little do you know, I got your Christmas gift or whatever, whatnot. Your birthday gift is in the closet. It's wrapped. I already got the shit, but now you sitting here accusing me of being a bad dude or whatever, whatnot. I didn't even think about you. You know, so I forgot all about your birthday or whatever, whatnot. Not knowing I didn't had your gift for 2 months already. I thought about this way before this even came across. But now I'm sitting here hearing you talking shit to me the whole time about this. I'm thinking in my mind, maybe I should go take this shit back. This ungrateful ass bitch. You see what I'm saying? So it says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers a good thing. All right. And there's nothing worse than seeing a drunk woman, you know, always just running off at the mouth. You know, women, you shouldn't be all super drunk all the damn time, drunk every damn day and just woo all out there like that. No, man. You know what I'm saying? You need to be sober and discreet with your things. You know what I'm saying? Because you get these women, they get drunk and be all wild and falling all over the place. Hey, go on YouTube and just type in drunk women or drunk woman. You'll see all kind of different weird examples and shit like that with women all falling out the car, out the club, talking all kind of ways to different people, just being irresponsible, man. And that's one thing that as an adult man, you know what I'm saying, that you, especially man of the Lord, you don't want nobody to be around you that you got to be super responsible for like that. You know, like it's your wife. Yeah, you're going to be responsible for your wife and all, but you shouldn't be responsible for her as if she's a child. You know what I'm saying? It's like you walking through the mall with your little 2 or 3 year old kid, 5-year-old kid. You got to constantly watch this kid, man. You got to be super responsible for the kid. You got to hold his hand so he don't run off. You know what I'm saying? Make sure he ain't grabbing and touching and breaking stuff in the store. You know what I'm saying? Because he a kid. You know what I'm saying? He don't really know no better. He just running around playing with all kind of stuff. All kind of things could happen. You got to constantly watch him. All right? You women, when you get drunk and stuff like that, you shouldn't be... Hey, man, don't no man want to have to be dealing with nothing like that. Now, if you want to be drinking and get drunk at the house with you and your man, that's cool and all, but don't be getting all drunk, be talking all kind of shit and be arguing, you know what I'm saying? Especially arguing just some stupid shit. You just arguing just to argue. You probably ain't even do all this. You probably ain't even do all of that. Or you such and such so on. Oh, they gave me too much on this. Or then you arguing, they ain't giving me enough on it. And then you just argue. Don't no man want to hear all of that, man. You're supposed to be a helpmeet and a pillar of rest. All right, not a burden and a problem. You know, something I always got to put something into, or something that I'm trying to, you know, take the long route home from work. No man should have to be trying to take the long route home from work or asking, hey boss, you need me to stay over today, or y'all need a ride. No man should have to be doing all that because he don't want to have to go home and live with that goddamn dragon, man. All right. It says, just going back, it says, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things. All right, not teaching your daughters how to twerk, how to give guys head and shit like that. Women be teaching their daughters that kind of shit nowadays. All right, how to put on some booty shorts or whatever, whatnot, work in a strip club, slide down the pole. You shouldn't be teaching your daughters like stuff like that. You should be teaching your daughter how to cook. All right, you know, when I used to be going out here dating and talking to these women, one of the first things I used to ask these women, hey, you know how to cook? The majority of these women, they don't know how to cook. They're like, well, the fuck good are you gonna be if I have kids with you? What you gonna be feeding my child, man? You ain't gonna be warming up no shit in the microwave and going to McDonald's every day to be provided for my kid. What you gonna cook for me? What good are you if you can't cook me nothing, man? You see what I'm saying? So you parents, you mothers, you should be teaching your daughters good things. All right, how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of yourself, how to take care of a man, how to live in silence and subjection around your man, how to be a good mother, how to be a good wife. All right. It says, verse 4, that they teach the young women to be sober. All right. First and foremost, to be sober, you know, not to be all loud and clamorous, have to, like I said, have to be taken care of. You got to be super responsible for these women like as a child, man. All right. Like when you got that 5-year-old kid running through the damn store, tearing up shit. But then when this kid get 15, they know now how to be responsible for themselves. They know how to not touch nothing in the store, not break everything in the store. They a lot older now. They're more responsible for their own actions. All right. So the analogy here is like, look, you women, you need to be sober and in order. You don't need to be like the little 5-year-old you running through the store, breaking every damn thing in the store. You need to be like, you know, or 5-year-old Ray Ray running through the store, breaking everything. You need to be like 15 or 18-year-old Ray Ray walking through the store just quiet. Like, look, I'll push the cart, or, you know, you need me to grab the bags, I'll grab the bags. So I'll just be quiet. I ain't touching shit. I ain't breaking shit. You know, you ain't walking through the mall with an 18-year-old, your 18-year-old child and worried that he gonna be breaking shit and shit on the shelves. All right. You only worried about your little 5-year-old child doing that because they not old enough to really realize what's going on. All right. But you women, you shouldn't be like that. All right. As a parent, you shouldn't, or as a husband, you shouldn't be having to watch over your damn wife as if it's a 5-year-old kid. All right. Verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. All All right, like I was just going into, you elderly women be teaching your daughters how to go, how to love your husband, man, how to be a wife unto your husband, man, how to love your children, man. You're supposed to be trying to encourage your children, talk to your children a certain type of way. All right, not be cussing them out. Get your little bad ass down. Sit your ass down somewhere. Sit your little black ass down. You shouldn't be talking to your kids like that. You know, you're supposed to be uplifting them. All right, you're supposed to be speaking life and prosperity into them. You're supposed to be teaching them certain type of things. Child, I ain't got time for this right now. Get out of my face. My stories is on. You know, a lot of our parents be how you say ignoring us for shit to please their own flesh. Get out of here. You know when my stories come on, you ain't supposed to be talking, boy. Go over there, sit down, and be quiet. And we over here doing whatnot. When I'm over here playing dominoes or drinking, get out of my face. Go in your room. That's the worst thing you can do to a child. You sitting them all off, and then you're not showing them no love. So when they get older, they don't know how to be loved or be around these other people that they're around, whether it be, you know, their own wife or their own husband. They don't know how to be around them because they always been, you always talking shit to them the whole damn time and throwing them in the damn corner. So they don't really know how to be around nobody. They don't know how to love nobody. They don't know how to be loved. They don't know what it's like to be loved. You see what I'm saying? You have a woman that's actually loving and taking care of her man how she's supposed to do. When you have a male that's been growing up, never being shown love, he thinking that being a man is, I'm supposed to be doing all kind of stuff like this. Now a woman want to take care of you, like cook for you, clean for you. You feel soft. I don't need you to be cooking for me, bitch. No, that's what she's supposed to be doing for you. But see, you don't know how to be loved. Your mom ain't never really took care of you. So when somebody doing it for you, you feel less of a man. You feel like, oh, I'm a weak man because I got a woman cooking for me. I got a woman doing my laundry. Nah, man, that's how her role's supposed to be. But because your mom always, you know, neglected you as a child, you don't know what it's like to be loved, what it's like to be taken care of. All right. Verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husband, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. All right, so going into being discreet and keepers at home, chaste. You know, you ain't supposed to be all out in the street, clamorous, all out in everybody else's business. You're supposed to be discreet, just have some discretion, man. All right, hey, look at your clothing. You ain't supposed to be showing your whole body, man. If I'm able to know exactly what all your goods look like and you fully dressed, there's a problem. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, man. Hey, start with, you know, your outer appearance, but then also how you carry yourself. All right. You're supposed to be discreet. You're not supposed to be loud and clamorous. Like, you know, you see a lot of these so-called black women, they be in a damn store with their little kids and they ain't really paying attention to their kid. They just walking through the store yelling, Ray Ray, where you at? Bring your ass over here, Ray Ray. Man, that is the most ghettoest shit you could be doing. Hey, none of our women should be conducting themselves like that because that's showing that you ain't got no discretion. All right. You don't have control over your own self, man. You just out of control. You just clamorous, man. All right, you don't have no real guidance. Another thing, you walking around on your cell phone on speakerphone and you just gossiping with you and your girlfriend talking a whole bunch of shit. You got the phone 5 feet away from you. You on a train, on a packed ass train, screaming in the phone, girl, he ain't no good anyway. That small dick bastard. And this motherfucker, that bitch tried the wrong one. Man, hey, you need to be discreet, silent, quiet, man. Don't nobody need to be hearing all your business like that, man. So when you see men on the phone like that, sometimes they might be in the store, whatever, whatnot, you hear them, hey, hold on real quick. I'm inside the store. Let me step outside real quick, you know? Hey, you do have some ghetto ass niggas like that, them wicked niggas, but we ain't talking about them, all right? But you women, you know, hey, y'all need to stop that, man. You shouldn't be in a damn store. You go to in hood grocery stores and stuff, all you hear is a bunch of black women screaming on their damn cell phones about a bunch of nonsense. A bunch of nonsense, man. Hey, you need to, man, hey, man, that's one of the worst things that any and every, don't nobody want to hear your whole conversation. But again, our women, they got to be the center of attention of everything. They got to outshine everybody, but it's like, yo, you can outshine everybody, all right, but do it in righteousness. Let everybody, when they be talking about you, let it be talking about you in righteousness. Damn, look at how these women raise their children to be in line and in order and how they raise their kids. Damn, now that's how they should be talking to you. They shouldn't be like, here come them fucking loud-ass black women or these loud-ass Hispanic women. You see what I'm saying? They shouldn't be having to say no shit like that. Here go this ghetto-ass woman. They don't know how to treat they woman. Then you hear these other races talking about something. See, they always talking about how all these other races taking their good black men, but they can't keep a black man. Man, it's kind of true because you running them all off. Don't no black man, though. No righteous man want to be with these wicked ass women, man. You can't be, just like you women don't want to be with no so-called broke man. You know, a man got to be able to provide for somebody. You see what I'm saying? So us as men, we can't just be broke as fuck, not have no goddamn job and expect to have a dime piece, the best of the best women. No, same likewise with you women. You can't just be the piece of trash and expect a good man to come around and pick up a piece of trash and cherish that, man. You got to be way, way better than that. But see, you always talking about being a queen and I'm the baddest bitch. How about being a good mother? Start there. Be a good woman and then try to be a good mother and a good wife. That's the only thing you Israelite women should try to be. You should be striving for. Being a good wife, a good mother, or a good woman. All right? Continuing on. Oh, slide. This is 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Hamashiach, they will marry. All right. So look, again, you have to how do I say, be in subjection, because why? You want to just going out doing your own little thing, you know? You get out of order. If there's no order, if you don't have order and rules and things like that, what do you have? You have chaos. All right. And that's what we have going on in our communities. That's why you see the divorce rate all extra high, you know, all these single black mothers and so on and so forth, because why? They wanted to go astray from the ways we were supposed to be living. Like I opened up with the not Planned Parenthood, but those type of things, you know, governmental assistance aids and all these different things. You know, they want to go, they want to forget the laws, just like us men or us as a whole nation. We want to go after these other nations. We want to be independent. We want to go do all these other things. All right. But now don't be mad that your whole nation is all destroyed and you all fucked up, man, because we gave you the right way of going. You know, you mad that your brand new Corvette then broke down because, you know, they told you to put this type of oil inside the car and this type of gas inside the car, but you decided to put in dish detergent inside the damn oil thing and goddamn Coca-Cola inside the gas tank, and you mad that your car don't run no more, man. You can't be doing that. You got to do what was prescribed for you, all right? Continuing on, verse 12, having damnation because they have cast off the first faith. Again, like I was just saying, you got to come back to the ways that was prescribed for you. You can't try to create this new thing and be all independent. Verse 13, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, not only idle, but tattlers and also busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. Hey, that's what happens when these women get out of order, out of control. When they ain't got no man that had them in subjection, being at home in their own house, worrying about their own business, not out there gossiping. What do they want to do? And they go out with their girls, with girls' night out there gossiping, talking all kind of shit, breaking up all kind of people's relationships and all this and all that, or getting on the internet nowadays and dressing all provocative and walking around and causing, you know, all kind of calamities in the world. You see what I'm saying? Everything is all screwed up because why? These women started going off like this, all right? They, like the Lord said, he created a new thing in the earth. A woman was going to surpass a man, all right? So this is what's going on with all these different things, all right? So it says, verse 13 again, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also. First of all, not only idle, they lazy. They don't know how to cook no more. They don't know how to clean no more. They don't want to serve no man. All right. So it says, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering. Withal they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house. First of all, they learn how to be idle, so they don't even want to do nothing in the house no more. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to serve their man. All right. Now they wander from house to house. Not only idle, but tattlers also. All right, so look, I ain't serving this man, I ain't serving. You're supposed to have your own one husband, but now this man ain't good enough. You going from house to house. Oh, he expect too much. He expect this and that, or he don't expect that I do anything. He just pay all the bills. We got a maid and he take care of me and this and that. I ain't got to do shit. I ain't got to serve my man. And that's even bugged out, man. You women, you know, let's say you in a scenario where your husband, y'all can afford to have a maid. The maid is actually doing all the wifely duties and the woman just sitting back. Like, what the hell are you? Your only purpose really at that point, you didn't put yourself in a position only to be the sex slave, basically. You put yourself in that position because now she doing all the wifely duties. He just having sex with your ass. You know what I'm saying? But continuing on, it says, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. You know, going from house to house, going all in everybody else's business. You know what I'm saying? Being busybodies. You see him gossiping and all that. Verse 14, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guard the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. That's a righteous woman. That's where you're supposed to be at, man. You're supposed to be with your husband, all right? Be in subjection under your husband, all right? Be quiet and in subjection under your husband, not loud and clamorous. Not saying you can't talk, but you know what I mean? Like, for instance, I gave the example earlier. You're going to be on the phone, talk on the phone. But you don't, you know, get your Bluetooth headset or talk, you know, how you doing with people talking on the telephone. You don't need to be on a cell phone, on speakerphone, have the shit all extra loud, have everybody hearing the conversation. You and your girlfriend gossiping, talking shit. Or you talking shit about another person. You talking shit about your man. You and your girl on the phone, talking shit. Talking about, you know, everybody this and that, they business, and the neighbors can hear all they business. Now the whole neighborhood know what y'all going through. Yeah, man, this nigga, he, you know, he got this here problem, whatever. He got this, let me think of a health problem or some shit. Yeah. Oh, you know, you talking to your girlfriend or whatever, whatnot, and you, oh, well, he got a erectile dysfunction. He don't get hard no more. And then y'all, man, that's super shameful and embarrassing to not only your husband, but your family as well. Man, you on speakerphone, your neighbors living right next door to you, everybody hearing that, the girlfriend talking. Come on, man. Don't no man want no woman to be spreading all their business out like that, man. Whether or not, you know, if they make good money, they don't make good money, whatever it is that you're talking about them in, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this guy, he be snoring or whatever, whatnot. His drawers be stink, his socks be stink. He don't never do this, do that. You shouldn't be, nah, man, you shouldn't be bringing shame into your own house like that, all right? So it says, I would therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, God over the house, give none occasion for the adversary to speak reproachfully. All right, so that's your job. You're supposed to be raising up the kids in the house, being in the house, nice, quiet, and discreet. All right, you know, maintaining to your own business. All right, you don't want to be giving these people a space to be talking shit about you. Look at these ghetto ass women. These bitches don't know nothing. I always got to be loud as fuck on a goddamn speakerphone talking bullshit. Always putting their own men down and wonder why they men don't want to be around their ass. You see what I'm saying? As long as people keep saying all these things, that means you're not doing your job right. All right, until when people can't say nothing about you, well, they do have their women in order. You know, like how we say about these other nations, these other women around in these other nations, you know, like the Moabite or the Chinese women. Well, what we can't say about them is you don't really hear about a whole lot of these Chinese whores, these women getting raped, or a bunch of women out of wedlock. They are in subjection to their husband. They do listen to what their husbands say. They are married a lot longer. The kids do grow up with a 2-parent household and a more stable household. We can't really say shit about them because what? They in order. All right. But now if you raised up the way we raised up, yeah, you got all these goddamn badass kids and shit, knocking old women out and shit like that. They smoking weed with their little 2-year-old baby, got the baby rolling up the blunt. You know what I'm saying? They got the baby in the background while the mama taking naked pictures and shit. You see what I'm saying? As long as we doing all this here bullshit, they gonna always be able to say all these things about us. But what? We have to change our way first and foremost, all right? Especially starting with you women, all right? This is the last one we're gonna close out. This is Ecclesiastes 7:26. It says, I found more bitter than death the woman. All right. So what? This is Solomon saying, you know, one of the wisest men who had like 1,000 total women, you know, 700 wives and 300 concubines, I believe. If anybody was how you say, well experienced with women, it would be Solomon. All right. He says he found more bitter than death the woman. So something that's worse than death is what? The woman. All right. Says whose heart, all right, and it's not just talking about a woman, it's talking about a wicked woman, really. It says whose heart is snares and nets, all right? So in her mind, all she's trying to do is trap you up, trying to get over on your ass, you know? They're like, girl, you better go out there and use what you got to get what you want. You know, make sure you get this nigga, you know, get him, make sure he give you a baby, make sure you put him on child support, make sure you get some alimony, make sure you get all this and that. A lot of these women, especially when they go in and get with these celebrities, these basketball stars, that's what they plan. They plan is to get you hooked up into these snares and these nets, man, all right? So it says, I found more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands, who pleaseth the Most High. Whosoever pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. All right. So look, this is an example of these women that you shouldn't be trying to be with. These women who's just trying to get something up out of you. All right. It says, behold, I have found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account. So he wound up searching through these here people. All right. It says, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found. All right. So out of 1,000 men, he found one man that was righteous. All right. So out of every 1,000 men that he surveyed, it was about one out of 1,000. All right. It says, one man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have not I found. So he ain't never found no goddamn righteous woman. He never seen no woman in righteousness. You see what I'm saying? So look, this is a rare thing in the damn earth. All right. Verse 29, lo, this only have I found, that the Most High have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. All right. And so, hey, they trained this woman to go off, and now everybody going off. All right. This is yeah, I was speaking on this a little earlier. I want to pull this out before I close out. Proverbs 31:30, it says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. All right. So look, you can have a woman that, you know, might treat you a certain type of way. Oh man, she got some good sex or whatever, whatnot, or she'll buy me whatever the hell she'll buy me everything, keep me with some Jordans and everything else like that, so on and so forth. You know, or this woman is fine as all outdoors, man. You shouldn't be looking for women like that, man. That's It's all in vanity, because look, this woman who buying you all these different things, first and foremost, she could lose her job or stop buying them for you. She could go buy for another dude or whatever, whatnot, you know, or whatever type of sexual favors or whatever she could do sexually, whatever, whatnot. Hey man, one of y'all could wind up catching an STD. She might be slipping out with somebody else and she brought home an STD. Now you hating this woman from all those sexual, yeah, she was a real freak in the bed. Yeah, but she was actually a real whore going around jumping from rod to rod. Now she brought that back, and the thing that you liked about that woman was ultimately your downfall. All right? It says beauty is vain. Because why? She could be super fine now, but then wind up getting pregnant and blowing up like a house and losing that size and that shape and never come back to it, or get into a car accident and get all scarred up in the face, or lose an arm or lose a leg. Then what? You gonna leave your wife because she ain't as beautiful no more? That's the only thing you was with her with? You know, she got a little older. She don't look as she did when she was young. So what? You know, these aren't the women you should be going after. All right. You should be going after what? A woman. It says, but a woman that feareth the Lord, or Yahweh, she shall be appraised. All right. She shall be praised. All right. The righteous woman, the women that's following after the law, statutes, commandments to the best of her ability, following after the guidelines that was set forth on how to be a righteous woman. All right. These women that are in line and in order, she's going to be she shall be praised. All right. These righteous men, all right, who find these here women, they're going to be with these women. I got me a good woman. They're going to treat her right. This is going to lead to ultimately a happy relationship between men and women. All right. For you women, getting you a righteous man of the Lord. All right. Who understand these here scriptures. All right. And then also for you to understand these here scriptures in your role and your position. All right. When y'all can fall in line, you know what I'm saying? And in order, everything will work like a well-oiled machine. All right. Again, you can't have a Corvette and try to go into a damn race and try to put a soap powder in the damn gas tank. You know what I'm saying? And bubble gum in the oil reservoir and think you're going to win a race. No, you got to put the right type of oil into the oil pan. And you got to put the right type of gas into the gas tank. You got to have the right type of tires on the car. You see what I'm saying? In order for the car to perform well. All right. So Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Till next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.